Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this episode of I Think I Lost My Fast. We will be looking at the issue of courtship and fasting. Yeah, courtship and fasting. Some of us would like courtship, Islam, courtship, fasting. Is that not like an oxymoron? Well, you see, this faith is all about living. Take, for example, when you ask yourself, what is Islam? People will readily say such things as, it's my religion. Just as you would say, for example, as the Christians would say, or the Hindus would say. But you will find that the Muslim will tell you that, well, you see, that definition is rather self-limiting, very limiting. And then you ask the Muslim, then what is Islam? They will just look at you and smile and say, Islam is a way of life. Therefore, when you look at courtship, what are we really talking about? It's actually a process that leads us to a component of a major aspect of our lives. So, people naturally, when they are going to come together to meet, a man does not see a lady the first day and then goes ahead and just picks the lady and dumps her in his house, or a woman just doesn't see a man the first day and says, okay, yeah, you're my husband, and that's how it is. So it is the process between when a man and a woman meets up to the point when they do the I do that we talk about with courtship. And then we look at this in the context of fasting. You will then still ask me, what are you really trying to say? A lot of us, take for example with Yorubas, when you have what they call yawa fesono and things like that, we have a lot of things that we say. For example, well, you know, it's my fiance, she's my fiance, and because it is the women that take care of the men, so when it is the time for fasting, my wife-to-be comes to my house and cooks for me. And then he goes further than that, and so many other things happen. You know, maybe she comes to prepare the dinner for him, and then sometimes she even becomes resident and then does the sahur. But you and I know that a lot of things can then happen in between. But, a very big but. Remember, the Muslim faith has a process for everything. Whether it is your waking from the moment you wake till the moment you go to sleep, even when you are going to sleep. Do you therefore think that this same faith will just ignore that very fundamental role of the interaction between a man and a woman before they go and get married? Let's take ourselves back to those very vital ayahs in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah SWT was talking about fasting. If you look at the principle that you may attain piety, then secondly, understand that nobody is allowed as a Muslim to execute anything that is halal through haram. Forgive me. That is why you find a hadith could say, where Allah SWT says, Inna Allaha tayyib, la yaqbal illa tayyiba, that Allah is pure. It does not take anything except that which is pure. So why would you say, because you want to worship your Lord, then you will worship him through ways and means that he frowns at? A man and a woman are not supposed to be that close if they are not married to themselves. A man who can marry a woman is not supposed to have certain relationships with that woman unless she is his wife. So why would you then find a woman, go to a man's house and say, well, we're going to get married, our parents know about it, so I'm just trying to help him to get close to his Lord, which is fantastic, but you want to help him go close to his Lord by breaking some of the rules of that same Lord, then definitively you will see that this is not the way things are done. So for us to see, therefore, we must always look at, it is not just the idea of a Muslim fasting. It is not just the idea of do this, don't do this, do that, but always look at the fundamental principle that underlies it. We want to fast, yes. Why are we fasting? Because Allah SWT enjoins us to fast. But what do we benefit from fasting? We benefit from fasting by virtue of the fact that it gets us closer to our Lord. So we cannot get close to our Lord by engaging in what has been forbidden by our Lord, in what has been frowned at by our Lord, in what has been discouraged by our Lord. A man who is not your mahram, you have no business living in his house, staying in his house, thinking that you are cooking for him because it is Ramadan. Then probably you may even be thinking of warming up his bed so that he will be well disposed to being a good Muslim. You know that two negatives do not equate to making a positive. So in principle, therefore, whereas a Muslim man is encouraged to marry, same with a Muslim woman. Whereas it is compulsory for a man and a woman who have attained the age of maturity, for whom there are no limitations that can prevent them from fasting, then these two same set of people cannot be relating intimately in ways and manners that are only accepted for a couple that are married, simply because they want to justify by saying that they are trying to make the practice of the fast easy for themselves. Then they say, because we are cutting, so I'm cooking for him, I'm sleeping in his house, I'm washing his clothes. You know that you're already too close. And because you are non-mahram, that is forbidden. So however way you define your courtship, they must be within the rules that Islam has dictated. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the practice of the deen easy for us. We could also then ask ourselves, if truly you have committed yourselves to marrying the brother, you have committed yourself to marrying the sister, then the question will be, then what has stopped you from going ahead to marry? So whatever it is that has stopped you from going ahead to marry, then you must always remember that nearly does not kill a fly. Yet to be married is not the same as being married. Fiancé, afésona, àrísọ́nà, and all of those things, it is not the same in Islam as being married. So you should keep away. May Allah make the practice of the deen easy for us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We once had a teacher, the teacher of teachers.